Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by SeoSamba. Comprehensive high-performing marketing solutions for mature and emerging franchise brands. To supercharge your franchise marketing, go to SeoSamba.com. That's SeoSamba.com.
Today we have with us Lori O'Brien with Daddy O'Brien's Irish Ice Cream Pub and Restaurant. Welcome, Lori.
Hi, how you doing?
I am great. I'm so excited to learn about Daddy O'Brien's. Tell us all about it. How'd you get started and how you serving folks?
Well, thanks for having us. Well, Daddy-O and I are high school sweethearts, been together for many, many years, and we're entrepreneurs. And the way we got started, well, I own another business called Atlanta Special Events, and it's a corporate event company, and we offer catering. So we thought, well, let's add ice cream to our catering, and we started to do that, bought a couple of carts, and then Daddy-O, who is my husband, we fondly call him Daddy-O because his name is Daddy O'Brien. He decided he'd like to make his own ice cream, so he did a lot of research, and he bought an ice cream batch freezer, and the first ice cream he ever made had a whole bottle of bourbon in it. So he started creating alcoholic ice creams. And so as a sideline, we started doing festivals with our carts in a tent, which, of course, as entrepreneurs, we were very good at branding and immediately trademarked our name and everything and became a corporation. Thing is that everybody was in line at our booth and nobody else's because they just went crazy for our ice cream, which was, alcoholic. Although we did have family flavors too. But we were so popular that after a couple of years of doing it as a small side business, we were pretty much forced into opening our own storefront and restaurant. The public just kept eating our ice cream saying, oh my God, where is your store? So it wasn't in our plan to open a store, but we did. We were going to do ice cream only at first, but then in the location that we ended up in, I was afraid we wouldn't really survive unless we had some food. So I designed an entire menu of wonderful panini sandwiches with a very unique homemade bread. And then we went into entrees such as bangers and mash and shepherd's pie. And then we started making homemade soups like Guinness Irish stew and New England clam chowder. So we just became an Irish pub, restaurant, and Irish ice cream. So that's the story behind it.
Now, when you were doing the ice cream for the first time, was it just like, hey, let's make ice cream, and then what'll happen if we pour in bourbon? How did that kind of thought process begin?
Well, that would be in the brain of Daddy-O, who's kind of an ingenious little brain there. He's 100% Irish, and I really don't know why he threw a bottle of bourbon in his first ice cream, but he did have it in the back of his mind the whole time he was learning how to make ice cream. It was just a little idea in the back of his head, and once he created the first one and saw that it worked and figured out how to do it, he just kept trying it with all different other things like vodka and rum and every single kind of alcohol you can think of. He created an ice cream for it and just really has this knack for creating unique flavor combinations. And he hardly had any that failed. Every one of them just came out delicious.
So then because you're combining two kind of flavor profiles, right? Like the ice cream is so sweet, and then the alcohol has its own kind of distinct flavor. That must have been fun to be on the tasting team once he came back out of the kitchen with this.
Yeah, our neighbors became our guinea pigs, and they sure enjoyed that. We'd call them up and say, "Hey, we got a new flavor. You want to come over and try it?" And they'd be showing up at our door immediately. But yeah, it was just fun and ingenious. He joined the National Ice Cream Retailers Association because we always believed in being part of associations. And he went to his first conference about 5 months after he started making cream on his own. And he went there to just kind of see where things stood. And he found out that really he was the only one making true alcoholic ice cream. He entered a little competition in the convention, and his ice cream won. So his Kentucky salted caramel ice cream ended up on the front page of the Lexington Herald the next day. And he came home with his first national award. And then he started just winning every year. He would go and enter in competitions. And the second year he went, he won place in year competition. And then the next year after that, he won first place with a non-alcoholic ice cream, our butterbeer, which is a takeoff on the Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the hook of the concept isn't around this ice cream as the ice cream, but then you now kind of expanded into other menu items. Was that difficult to come up with recipes and unique kind of food items?
Well, when we decided we had to open a store, I asked Daddy-O, if you ever wanted to, create a store, what would it look like? And the first thing he said immediately was, I've always wanted an Irish pub. So we went with the theme of an Irish pub. So we called it an Irish ice cream pub. And so we made the place look exactly like an Irish pub. It is, when you walk in our store, you are walking into Ireland. So when I created the recipes, of course, we wanted to have an Irish twist to it. So, the Reuben was the first thing, sandwich on the menu. And then, of course, we added things like salad, and I created my own chicken salad recipe. So I just worked all summer long before we opened a store. I worked on menus, and I derived a lot of the recipes from our own family recipes. We have a chocolate cake that's over 100-year-old recipe that's been in our family. All my life I've made it. So we have that, and we actually made an ice cream out of the chocolate cake. And with the shepherd's pie, I asked people for months, what have you put in shepherd's pie? And I would get different answers, from lamb to beef to ground turkey, and everyone made theirs differently. So I decided to create my own unique shepherd's pie, and I put pot roast in the bottom of my pie, and then I don't care for peas and carrots, so I put corn on top of that, and then garlic mashed potatoes, and cheese, and bake in a casserole dish. So that's how we serve our shepherd's pie, which actually, by definition, is a cabbage pie, since it has beef instead. So, and we created our own brown gravy with onions. So, then we researched what goes in bangers and mash, and actually the brown gravy is for the bangers and mash. Sorry, I got my recipes mixed up.
Now, when you were doing the recipes and now you have the ice cream, was franchising always kind of the game plan when you were doing this, or did you think at first like, oh, we'll just do this and serve kind of the local market?
Yeah, the franchising wasn't in the original plan. We really went by our bootstraps. We opened the store because of the demand of the market. But then once we were open, all of our customers who, once you come once, you do come more than that. A lot of restaurants you'll go to once and just won't go back again. But people that come to our restaurant come back, either because they're enthralled by the ice cream or they love the food and the atmosphere. It's a very magical atmosphere there. And everyone that came still to this day says, oh, I wish there was a Daddy O'Brien's in my town. Or they would say, oh my gosh, this would go so well in, and then they'd say Boston, and some would say Austin, and others would say Savannah, and others would say Chicago, and it just was going on and on and on. So we were like, well, you could open a Daddy O'Brien's in your town if you'd like, or if you know an entrepreneur. So we did start looking into franchising at that point. Took some time to get organized and put together the franchise documents and the manuals. It's a very complicated procedure. So now we are poised to be franchised. We have our first store that opened in Florida, Lake City, Florida, and it looks just like our store. They did a wonderful job. And they have a little more of an expansive menu than we do because it's a larger restaurant, and it has fryers and hoods, which is something we don't have in our Sugar Hill location. So we've approved them to have a larger menu. So anyone who wants to have a franchise, we give them the opportunity to choose. They can do an ice cream only model, or they can do the ice cream and the full restaurant.
And then any advice for the business owner out there that maybe hadn't considered franchising? Is there some do's and don'ts now that you've kind of gotten one under your belt and you've been doing it? Because I would think being a franchisor is a different business than just running, a Daddy O's ice cream restaurant. Yeah.
Well, and see, I'm more of an entrepreneur than a restaurant person that runs a restaurant. So this is something that, interests me because I love helping people to get into business. I love entrepreneurship. So creating franchises, I love to get someone on board who has that same passion that I have, that loves the product and just wants to open up a store. It really excites me to have another entrepreneurial adventure in helping somebody to achieve something, to achieve a dream, and to see a passion. And with a product that's just so superior, that in the right location, they're going to be successful.
And right, so now your business becomes one of training and motivating and educating rather than kind of selling one more ice cream, right?
Right. And that excites me.
Now
I'm just that kind of person.
Right, because you're helping other people's dreams come true too, so that must be very rewarding.
Right, and with a franchise, it's one of the sayings about having a franchise or being a franchisor is that you are helping other people start a business, but with help, with someone holding their hand. So that's what's exciting about owning a franchise, is that you're not on your own. You've got somebody who's done it and who has already put together all of the paperwork of how to open, how to close, how to clean the bathroom, how to order from a vendor, how to do a POS. So, it's exciting to have a good franchisor at your side.
Yeah, absolutely. You're kind of speeding up their learning curve, and you're eliminating some of the risks that they would have to have, the learning curve is shortened
Right.
dramatically. Now, in your career, have you had any mentors or people who have kind of helped you out?
My dad, who's gone now, when I was young, gave me the book, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. That was the start for me of becoming an entrepreneur. Just reading a book that excited me, taught me how to be a business person, and I read all of Truett Cathy's books. That was influential for me. I became a member of the Chamber of Commerce locally in Gwinnett County, and that was extremely helpful in giving me resources and teaching me how to run a business, and how to gave me the resources to grow both of my businesses. So I find being a part of business organizations, the Georgia Restaurant Association, I just believe in being a part of the community and taking advantage of any resources that I can to help me grow.
And then for folks out there who might be good for you in terms of a franchisee, what are some of the qualities that a good Daddy-O's franchisee would have?
I would like someone who has experience either in the restaurant industry, who knows how to run a restaurant. So anyone who's been a restaurant manager or restaurant owner in the past, of course, is a great person for me. And someone who has experience in business, who knows the benefits of marketing, how to market, social media, passionate people who have already been successful, and people who absolutely love and see the value of our product.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on all the success, Lori.
Well, thank you.
Now, if somebody wanted to learn more about Daddy-O's as a franchisee, or maybe just go and check out the shop here in the Atlanta area, what is the website or the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, to visit our store, you can come to Sugar Hill. We are on 5910 Suwannee Dam Road. It is on the corner of Suwannee Dam Road and Highway 20 in Sugar Hill. Or you can visit our store in Lake City, Florida. But the website is Daddy-O's, DADDYOS, DaddyOsIceCream.com. And you can go on the website, and there's places where you can click on how to own a Daddy O'Brien's, and there's a form there that you can fill out that goes directly to my desk, and we can start a conversation.
Good stuff. Well, again, congratulations on all your success, and thank you for sharing your story.